why do people, like investors, end up with more than one PM, property manager?
Yeah, so it's the perception that all property managers are the same, and potentially that people don't value it as an industry or a profession.
Yeah.
So they go, okay, well, I'm buying this investment property. It's being managed now by X real estate. I'll just leave it with them.
Because it's easy.
Because it's easy. They're already doing it. Some people think that it will affect the lease, but you can actually change property managers at any time during a lease.
Could you explain that? Like, if someone's like bought a property and they're like having an experience and they're like, it's sort of like not what they expected, or they sort of want to know if there's actually better service that they can get. They bought another investment property and they want to move to AR.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how would they do that?
You just need to give the current agent 30 days notice in writing or less if both parties agree, and then it changes, because at the end of the day, our contract and agreement is with the owner, and the tenant and the owner have an agreement. So it doesn't affect the tenancy-owner relationship. It only is the agent and the owner. So in terms of the tenant, the only thing that changes is the bank details that the rent payments go to, and everything else just remains the same.
So super simple.
Yeah, really
to get
easy.
Better service, really.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that they're not getting a good service.
This is why I asked you like first time, like, what does good property management look like? And I know you listed off what they do, but getting communication back from your property manager, or like there's heaps of other things about like all the new legislation that I want to talk through, and how you've navigated some examples of that, which we'll get to like very soon, because you don't know what you don't know.
No.
Right?
So we had an example. So there was a previous client of mine, and this is back, when would this have been? Like 2015, 16. So the pricing of properties was not what it is now.
Out of curiosity, how long have you been in real estate and property management?
About 22 years.
Yeah, so a fair bit of experience in that front.
But back in 2015, you could still get, a 4-bedroom house for $550 a week. So we're talking that back in those days, which is not that long ago. Anyway, so I met this client and we took on one of their managements, and I came to know that they actually owned 5 more properties. We were just managing one of them. And after some of the work that we did on that one, they approached me and said, can we switch all of our others over to you? So, of course.
Of course, because I'm like, well, why have them on all with different property managers? What are the advantages around it?
The benefits of having all your properties under one management is we can holistically look at your return on investment from all of them. There are other just conveniences, obviously having one point of contact for your entire investment portfolio. You've got the same tradespeople as well that you're dealing with day in and day out on your properties. We can also, from an accounting perspective, we can journal funds from one property to another to help pay for expenses. Like if one property had maybe some major work that needed done, you can journal funds. Is a bit boring, it's accounting talk, but
sounds like I'm saving money for a tax write-off across the whole portfolio. That sounds completely good to me.
So at the end of financial year, your accountant gets one piece of paper from you, and it's all your properties under the one roof.
Cool.
But yeah, so these clients, we looked at the portfolio as a whole, and like, what do you want as your return on investment, not just for one property but for 6.
Yes.
And it came down to looking at the rental prices. So some of them were quite severely under rented, about $80 a week. And there were others that were managed. We were an on-site manager, and they had the owner paying for, it was a townhouse. It had a decent yard, but it was not something that a tenant couldn't mow the lawns. Like no crazy hedges or professionally landscape properties, we normally suggest to owners, get this done and include it in the rent.
Yeah.
So to ensure it's maintained properly, because a lot of people, I don't own a hedge trimmer. and a lot of people don't.
Yeah, and hedging a tree into a ball is really difficult.
It's really hard. But this property was not that. It was just lawns. Anyway, so they had the owner paying for the lawn maintenance. There was no water usage being charged to some of the tenants. So properties need to be water efficient, and that might just be sending a plumber out to change up a couple of shower heads, or most fixtures are water efficient these days anyway, as you know.
Yes.
So as the lease renewals came up, we renegotiated terms. We increased rent where it was justified, and we ended up increasing the income also by saving expenses by, I think it was about $370 a week across all 6 properties, which was just under $20,000 a year
in 2015.
In those pricings. So it could be a lot more in today's money, but all relative, right? But yeah, $20,000 a year. I mean, what could you do with that money? Could you put that into another investment property, or
there's so much.
Yeah. So
20 grand's a family holiday.
Yeah.
That you don't have to save up for.
Yeah.
Or a nice that's a pretty nice family holiday, but
yeah. So, not all portfolios might get that result. It obviously depends on your current management and the properties and the agreements, but we can get it all, we look at it, and then we make suggestions for improvements.
Wouldn't it be easier just having one person to call about all your properties anyway? Like,
yeah,
for
I mean,
me,
I feel it would be.
Yeah, like owning a business, I just want to know that I'm talking to one person.
Yeah. And for we're based on the Gold Coast, but for our clients, if they have properties in Brisbane, we take on those managements because it makes it convenient for our clients if they've got Brisbane and Gold Coast properties that they can all be managed under the one roof.
Yes.
So we just are very organised, and we manage our time effectively for our Brisbane-based investment properties. But yeah, we don't actively market in that area, but for current owners we do. So,
yeah. Well, which makes sense. Like, that example just makes complete sense. And if I owned multiple properties everywhere, you would want just one person to deal with.
Yeah. We're trying to make our clients' lives easier.
100%, which is what your property manager is there for, right?
Yeah.